Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Rogue Wave podcast, the frequency for all things pop culture and rogue matter. We talk comics, movies, TV, and pop culture every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on Facebook.com/We Are Rogue Matter and YouTube.com/Rogue Matter. I am your host, Michael Dolce, joined as always by my cohort in crime, the Lord of the Radio himself, Mr. Hassan Godwin. How you doing, sir?
Everything's fantastic.
You are Lord of the Radio, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. I'm going to call you that from now on.
Well, the 3 exclamation points are because you never call me Lord of the Radio in the first place. So
I do every week.
It's incentive. You have to be reminded every week.
Did you see that they have the new...
I have it all on tape, dude. I got it all on tape. Every show. It's all archived.
I think I'm pretty good about it. I think I'm
You're
pretty
okay
good.
with it. You're okay with it.
Unless I choose otherwise.
I don't usually have cause to complain. Let's just say that.
You don't need cause, do you?
No. But I mean, not having cause is an accomplishment.
Not having cause is a cause to complain.
No, not having cause is a cause not to complain.
But you can complain about not having cause.
Yeah, I complain because that's kind of the bailiwick, you know. It's a muscle. You gotta keep it. You gotta keep it strong. You gotta exercise.
I love it. I love it. Well, we have a great show tonight.
Right.
I say that every week, but I do genuinely mean it because I get to do something I've waited a long time to do. I get to flip the ballywig on you. You get to be one of our spotlight guests, which I'm pretty excited about. Because you were the cover artist on the latest Rogue Matter entry, which is Seila Fire Emergence. So that's some cool stuff right there. We also have the writer of Seila Fire on, and a little bit after that, for all the non-rogues out there, we've got one of my favorite segments, which is Trailer Truth or Trash, where we rate Doctor Strange. Did it live up to the trailer? And we go through the trailer. I've actually honed it now too, Hassan, to a point where I'm pretty excited about like how we're going to do it. Like the questions that need to be asked, name that genre, did the setup of the film live up to it? Who's the big bad? And spoiler alert, does it give away the ending? So we've got an official trailer to watch. We've got a lot of cool things. Yeah, we're really, we're diving deep into all this, which is great.
Of course, it's good.
But first, the aforementioned Rogue Matter presents Seila Fire Emergence #1. During the 1950s, during the great U.F.O scare of the 1950s, a small town in North Carolina is suddenly rocked by the sounds of cannons being fired just off the shore in the middle of the night. When the sun rises, there are no signs of damage, nor any signs of ships. Then the bodies begin washing on shore. So it's
always a bad sign.
Well, you would hope not. Like you would hope you wouldn't see.
You would hope that bodies washing ashore isn't a bad sign.
No, you would hope that that would not happen. You would hope that would not happen.
Yes. You would hope your morning.
I agree. I concur. Not a good sign.
You hope your morning beach run would not be plagued by jumping over bodies that just washed ashore. Yeah. That's usually my hope whenever I go to the beach. Like, man, I just hope there's no bodies. That's all I want. Other people are like, man, I hope the beach is clean. I hope there's no jellyfish. Me, I'm like, nah, I just want no dead bodies. I'll consider that a good beach day.
I just read about somebody. This is like, I don't know if it's just scary being alive today, like because there's more hazards out there, or we're just hearing about more hazards because there's so much news. Like some kid, like he was on the beach in the Jersey Shore, and he just like got swallowed up by the sand.
Sinkhole?
Like no joke.
It was like a sinkhole?
Yeah, like it just opened up and just like that was it. Just took him.
Was he gone, or did they get him back?
No, they didn't get him back.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean they got him back, but he wasn't with us anymore. Some downer news for Rogue Wave. But
yeah, man, don't bring that stuff.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm terrified to go out now. I mean, I was like, wow, I thought the beach was safe. No,
welcome to my world.
Yeah, that's not the world I want to be a part of. I want to be a part of the real world.
I don't really want to be a part of it either, but I don't really have a choice. I read the data. That's all.
You don't strike me as a beach type, though. Anyway.
Huh?
You don't strike me as the beach type.
Why would you say that, Michael?
I don't know, because you got the shades on, the hat.
You have shades on the beach. It's actually
I know you
bright
can
on the beach.
Those are not. Those are not. Those are not. I want to be on the beach shades. Those are. I want to be.
You're being thrown by the wool cap. That's what
It's
you're being
possible,
thrown. You're like,
right?
that's thermal. You can't be on the beach with a thermal wool cap. You'll die. And I'm like, I
You
watch
also.
you,
I
man.
know you, and you don't like the heat.
I don't like the heat, but if you're on the beach that's near the water, it's usually cool there.
I guess so, but still hot. I mean, you're still out in the sun. Like you're not a
I get
sun
picked
guy.
up.
Like
I
that's
get
I
picked
guess
up.
what I was saying.
I got picked up 20 feet in the air and thrown on a beach by a wave
Did you
once.
really?
Yeah, yeah.
How old were you?
Messing around where I shouldn't have been. I don't know. 14,
Wow.
maybe.
All right.
Messing around Fire Island. Messing around on Fire Island. Like, look, that's nothing. Because it was fascinating. You know, you go in the water, the thing lifts you up a little bit, and you ride it back onto the shore. Like, yeah. And they're like, well, we gotta slow it down now. The waves are getting bigger. Like, that only means it's gotta be more fun. And we all ran out there and we got wrecked. I mean, it wasn't just me; it was a bunch of us. But we got the nature. That was the last time I challenged nature. Let's just say.
That's a smart move.
Yeah,
I think that's a smart move overall.
I mean, wow. I mean, we might as well have been trying to rob nature. That's how bad she beat us. It was self-defense. It was terrible. It was terrible.
So let's switch gears off of getting rocked by nature and talk about the awesome cover work that you did on Seila Fire.
Since there's nature on the cover.
There is nature on the cover, but it's a good segue, one way or the other.
Yeah.
So there's five installments to the novel. So it's actually one giant novel broken up into 5 parts. So you had to do 5 covers.
Clever.
Describe to the audience what the assignment for this cover was.
The assignment was people are standing on a pier. And the first cover I did, which featured people standing on a pier, was rejected because their reaction was, "These are just people standing on." And I was like, "All right." I thought that was all right. Let me go back and see what I could do. But I don't know. You never said they were supposed to be doing something on the pier, so
it's very true.
Yeah, so we went. It was actually a good experience back and forth and stuff like that. But the original image was like, oh, that's just people on a pier. So that was just before the proposal I made was just before I read the entire story. So when I read the story, I became much more aware of pretty much what they were looking for, and
which was not standing on a pier.
Well, I mean, that's what they asked for, but they, usually what you don't always get when people come to you with a commission, you don't always understand that. Yeah, they're going to give you a concept.
Yeah,
but it's your job to make that concept exciting, regardless of what that concept is. That's the whole reason they're coming to you.
Sure.
Like, yeah, I want a picture of a woman on a stairwell, but I want it to be freaky,
Yeah.
But if they just say, I got this great idea for this horror book, a woman on a stairwell, and you're like, all right, and you give them a woman on a stairwell. It's like, that's just a woman. Stairwell. What are you doing? What do we hire you for? So that was a quick lesson. That was a life lesson right there.
So it's
on a pier. I got you.
It's funny. We're not going to show the cover because I forgot to send it to our producer. But you did the original Seila Fire Exile cover, which is a prequel to the book.
Yes,
and I think that's like one of your most awesomest covers. But you don't feel that way. You felt like you weren't happy with the final output, right?
No, every piece is kind of abandoned. It's not it's not done to your specifications, and just like everything else, you have your own ideas of what would be really cool. And then you present it, and they're like, "That's not cool," So
yeah.
you have to redefine cool. So
how many times does this happen for you, though? How many times does this happen to you where it's like the least, like you slap something together just to give them options, but it's like you spent like the most time on one, thinking that's the one they're gonna pick, and then like the one you put together
all the time. That happens all the time, and there's no way around it. because there's always something that the first idea you have is the idea you gravitate to.
Mm-hmm.
And then, and then pragmatism hits you and you're like, well, I can't just give them one idea. I got to come back with variations, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's always usually the third or fourth one that you just pooped out, you know, in as a variation on the original idea that you
Sure.
had. It's like, all right, well, I'll just do it, and then I'll do one upside down, I'll do one behind my back, I'll do, and that's usually they gravitate. But all art is subjective, so they don't, people who are examining the proposals aren't coming to them with any concept of how much you've invested in each one of them, right?
Yeah.
They see a sketch and they're like, I like this one does it for me,
Yeah.
if you go nuts and you render one perfectly and then you just sketch all the others, they'll get an inkling that maybe you're leaning towards one above all the other
Mm-hmm.
possibilities, but that doesn't mean they're going to choose it. That just means they're going to be like, shouldn't have done that because I like this one, you know. So you got to be cool. It's all about time. It's all about efficiencies, that kind of thing, and it's all about the client, man. But the client is the boss. The client says go. So it's like if they say your entire piece goes, you got to throw that piece out and give them another one. So
Yeah.
that's the
I mean,
nature of the
that
beast
is
right there.
the slave of the slave of being like freelance, right? Like, and also just not working on your own stuff in a sense, right? Because
Well, in some ways it's easier because when they're happy, you're done. When you're working for yourself, you're almost never done because you're always, unless you're on a deadline for yourself, you're always tweaking. So
right.
in a lot of ways, it's kind of a better trip.
Mm-hmm.
It's more educational. Um, you can't really get attached to things, but also you can pick your battles because there are times when you can be like, no, this kind of works better.
Yeah.
Like, don't you think that works a little better? But you gotta learn the language of your customer. You gotta learn how to talk to them. You gotta show them respect at all times and urge them that this is not about ego. This is just about imagery.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe this might be a little better. And sometimes you could sway them. You usually always have to sway them with demonstration, though. You can't be like, here's how I've explained, the geometry of this piece right here. Just because we have a warm color here, we have to have a cool color on the south end of it, or it's not
Mm-hmm.
going to work. You can't do that. You got to be like, boom, here you go. I think this will work, and they'll be like, hey, you're right. All right, do that. But a lot of times they'll be like, nah, you just
That's the worst part, right? I
my
mean,
time, your time, and everybody's time. Do it again.
it's a visual medium, right? It's like
Yeah.
you literally know it when you see it.
Yeah, you can't explain your way out of art. You really can't. So it is what it is. But it was a good experience. I worked with Renee and James, and they were fantastic. So,
James
know,
Mascia, the
James
author and
Mason,
creator,
yes.
and Renee Geerling's our managing editor. So that was awesome. Real quick, just a little more about Seila Fire. The bodies washing on shore draws the attention of a U.S. Air Force captain who's looking for signs of extraterrestrial life, along with some Russian agents who believe this is a sign the United States has developed a super weapon. What these phantom cannons are and where these bodies are coming from, that's anyone's guess. Unless you read Exile, which we can show the cover for Exile. This is also available on Rogue Matter. So if you're into sci-fi, if you're into see, I love that cover, man. Like it's got this freaky looking sci-fi looking woman peering into a void. It looks almost like volcanic, molten. It looks, there's stuff going on there. So if you go check out Seila Fire Exile, which is out right now as well on Rogue Matter, then read Emergence. You don't have to read both, to understand, one or the other, but they are definitely bookends to each other, and offer a great deal of, sci-fi fun for the, well, maybe not the whole family, but most of the family.
A lot of awesomeness.
A majority of the family can do
Yeah.
it. So.
Yeah. Some of the younger members of your family might have to sit that.
Well, they
one
might just they might be like me and be like, "There's no pictures here."
There's one on the cover. That'll get them.
Well, that I in all honesty, I absolutely do think the cover is a huge draw. So definitely go check it out. All right, when we come back, and this is kind of exciting. Again, I got double bookend here by two people who hate being interviewed. But but I loved it. I love the challenge. I love you inspired me to step up my interview game, which I probably didn't do. But either way, we just got the cover artist, who was also my co-host, so it was just easier to get him first. But we pre-recorded an interview with creator and writer James Mascia. He'll dive into this a little bit more when we come back. Hi guys, Mike Dolce here from the Rogue Wave podcast. If you like this video, please feel free to like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. It really helps us out. Leave a comment, let us know what you'd like to see in future episodes, and tune in every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, for a brand new episode of the Rogue Wave podcast.